Hello everybody and welcome back to Movies with Mia. If you're new to the channel, hi! I'm Mia Tiffany and here we are watching the greatest classic films throughout history. Today we are watching the 1967 film, The Graduate. Now, before we get into today's video, I'd like to shout out my Golden Oscar patrons. Guys, thank you so much for your continued support of the channel. And if you're interested in exclusive MWM content, then please check out that Patreon link, which is in the description box below. If you're not quite interested in becoming a patron, but you still want to support the channel, why not consider buying a movie ticket? Currently, all movie ticket donations are being used not only to support the channel, but also our editor, Zach. So if that's something you're willing to support, then please head on over to www.buymeacoffee.com/Mia Tiffany. And that link is down in the description box below. As always, I want to give a big special thanks to our editor, Zach. He has been so helpful in getting all of these videos edited, so thank you so much, Zach. The Graduate was released in 1967, directed by Mike Nichols, starring Dustin Hoffman, Anne Bancroft, and Catherine Ross, with other notable performances by William Daniels, Murray Hamilton, and Elizabeth Wilson. Alright everyone, at this point we are going to get into our historical background. For those of you who want to jump right onto the film reaction, go for it. But for those of you who want to stay, we're going to get right into it. The Graduate was based on the novel of the same name, written by Charles Webb in 1963. Now, rumor has it that Webb actually fashioned the character of Elaine after his real-life spouse, whose name was Fred. Now, Webb denied having any sort of intimate relationships with Fred's mother. However, he did admit that he fashioned the character of Mrs. Robinson after a fantasy he had of one of his parents' friends. He said that the novel sprouted from a plot outline that he wrote in the library one day to basically get the fantasy out of his system, to get it out of his mind. He had to write it out, and it became a novel. Eventually, a film producer came across the novel and saw the potential of it being a success as a film adaptation. Webb would eventually sell the film rights for $20,000. This movie would end up being the first project to be produced out of Joseph E. Levine's independent film company called Avco Embassy. Levine brought on Mike Nichols to direct the picture after his successful career as a Broadway director. At the time, Nichols was asked to direct the film Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, specifically by Elizabeth Taylor, which he actually decided to film before filming The Graduate. When it came time to cast, there were many actors to be considered for the role of Benjamin Braddock, specifically Warren Beatty, even Robert Redford. Nichols had actually worked on Broadway with Redford and wanted him to play the role of Benjamin. However, producer Lawrence Terman saw Redford as too much of a household name, so he didn't really feel like he was right for this particular role. When Dustin Hoffman tested for the role, Terman found that he was actually perfect for it, despite the fact that Hoffman felt that he completely butchered his test. There was something about him, and I guess how he played, that made Terman really like him and eventually cast him in the role of Benjamin Braddock. Now, for the role of Mrs. Robinson, many actresses were considered, such as Patricia Neal, Doris Day, and even Susan Hayward. Day later remarked in her memoirs that she turned down the role because it did not align with her own self-values, stating, quote, "I could not see myself rolling around in the sheets with a young man half my age who I seduced," end quote. The Graduate would go on to be nominated for 7 Oscars at the Academy Awards in 1968, including Best Picture. However, it only won 1 for Best Directing, which was awarded to Mike Nichols. Alright guys, now on to some interesting facts. The budget for The Graduate was approximately $3 million and shot in various parts of Southern California. For this project, Nichols had worked with cinematographer Robert Surtees, who was a well-established director of photography and worked on big projects such as Ben-Hur throughout his Hollywood career. Surtees would remark that he would use all 30 years of his experience in the industry on set of The Graduate. He said that The Graduate had the most camera work that he had worked on in a film. In terms of music, Nichols wanted to create a musical score that set a particular tone, versus having music correlate to specific scenes, which I wonder if that inspired Quentin Tarantino, because he uses a lot of wacky music in weird places in his movies. So I don't know, just side note. He had a few songs that he had already been wanting to use from the very popular duo of the time, Simon and Garfunkel, specifically the song The Sound of Silence, which he actually used as a pacing tool in order to help him pace his scenes, which I thought was really interesting, to use music to do that. I thought that was really cool. Paul Simon of Simon and Garfunkel would actually end up writing a new song for the film, so eloquently titled Mrs. Robinson. Finally, the original novel of The Graduate was actually deemed as a great shame to Charles Webb's family. They despised the novel. However, when the film came out, Charles Webb's father allegedly could not stop gushing over his son's success, which I kind of thought was a little like, oh, so you didn't like the novel, but you like the success of the film. Interesting. With that being said, this is my first time watching The Graduate, and I am so excited to get into it. But before we do, y'all know the deal. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification to stay in the loop. All right, everyone, it is time to grab your snacks, grab your drinks, and let's get into The Graduate.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Did seeds while I was sleeping. Oh, silent.
Why does he look so like, I don't know, like lost? Like he's just totally like gone.
What's the matter? Guess we're all downstairs waiting to see you.
You explained to them that I have to be alone for a while. I'm just
Worried? About what?
about my future.
Aimless about his future. Definitely can relate to this.
I want it to be different.
It's almost as if no one understands what he's really going
there's
through.
the award-winning scholar!
And then the clown to show that he's putting on like a face. I get it.
I'd just like to check something on the car for a minute.
Listen, everybody, I've got Ben's college yearbook here. I just want to read you some of the wonderful things about Ben. Captain of the cross-country team, head of the debating club, managing
get outta
editor and a
here.
senior.
They're all proud of him, but he feels so like lost. Such an interesting sort of dichotomy to play with. I kind of get the same sort of like feeling in the beginning of this movie as I did when I watched Harold and Maude. That sort of like from Harold, just the sort of aimlessness, not really knowing what to do next after sort of coming out of childhood and emerging into adulthood. It's just interesting to see that theme reoccur here in this film as well.
Is it a girl? Whatever it is that's upsetting you.
Oh, no, I'm just sort of disturbed about things.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I absolutely love the style of the 60s too.
I want to ask you something. Will you take me home? My husband took the car. Will you drive me home?
Here, you take it. Do you know how to work a foreign shift?
No.
He's like, all right, I guess I'll drive you home. She like threw it all the way in the fishbowl. It's like so extra. Like what if they got waterlogged? I don't know. I guess they're just keys. They're not like remote keys.
Right.
Will you come in, please?
What?
I'd like you to come in till I get the lights on, because I don't feel safe till I get the lights on.
She's so like commanding. Like she exudes a sort of power. She's like, come in, please.
I have some things on my mind. Can you understand that?
Yes. What do you drink?
She will not take no for an answer.
Benjamin, I'm sorry to be this way, but I don't want to be left alone in this house. Please wait till my husband gets home.
When is he coming back?
I don't know.
Oh, well I don't want to stay at your house for an elongated period of time. It's weird.
May I ask you a question? What do you think of me?
What?
You've known me nearly all your life. You must have formed some opinion of me.
Well, I always thought that you were a very nice person.
She's like, that's not what I mean.
Look, I think I should be going.
Sit down, Benjamin. My husband will be back quite late.
Oh, my God. Oh, no, Mrs. Robinson. Oh, no.
I feel like she's trying to lead him into something, and he's not ready for that.
I mean, you didn't really think I'd do something like that.
Like what?
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
He's like, I know what you're trying to do here, Mrs. Robinson. You're trying to seduce me. I love the framing.
Have you ever seen Elaine's portrait?
Her portrait?
Yes.
No.
They had it done last Christmas. Would you like to see it?
I absolutely love this time in cinema because there is so much playfulness and so much creativity and almost like experimentation with camera work and cinematography. I see a lot of that in this film, and I really, really love it so far. I just wanted to point that out.
Elaine certainly is an attractive girl, isn't she?
Benjamin?
Yes.
Will you come over here a minute?
I would love to sit for a portrait. That would be interesting. A completely different experience.
Will you unzip my dress?
Oh, well, good night.
He's like, bye.
What are you so scared of?
I'm not scared, Mrs. Robin.
Then why do you keep running away? Benjamin, I am not trying to seduce you. Would you like me to seduce you?
No. Maybe. God, she's making me nervous. Like, I'm nervous.
I'm going home now. I apologize for what I said. I hope you can forget it, but I'm going home right now.
He's such an interesting, like, sort of actor, too. It's very different than some of the more classic actors, you know? Oh, she has no clothes on.
Oh, God.
Oh, that 3-angle was awesome.
Get away from that
I
door.
want to say something.
Jesus Christ.
Benjamin, I want you to know that I'm available to you. And if you won't sleep with me this time,
Oh, my Christ.
Oh my Christ.
that's all you want.
Oh, Jesus, that's him.
Get out. Leave me alone. That scene of showing just tidbits of her body. It's almost like we, the audience, were in his mind, like with him, like kind of looking but not, kind of looking but not. That was interesting the way that they decided to depict that. And also kind of obviously hinting with like nudity and sexuality. It's very interesting.
Is that Ben's car in front?
Yes, sir. I drove Mrs. Robinson home.
She's like, I just want you to know I'm available to you. What? Mrs. Robinson? It's not okay.
Appreciate it.
She's upstairs. She wanted me to wait down here till you got home.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It looks like you need a refill.
Oh, no, I've got to go.
Oh no, please let him leave. Please let him leave.
I'll see you soon, I hope.
He's like, I hope we won't see each other again.
Now, I'm going to ask for a big round of applause to bring this boy out here, to bring this young man out here. Today, he is 21 years old. Benjamin Brother! Yay! Attaboy!
In a scuba suit. I wonder if this also has, you know, we watched Rebel Without a Cause on the channel, and there was a lot of teen angst. I wonder if this sort of idea or theme has kind of sprouted because of films like that. That'd be interesting to know more history about that. And again, just the experimentation with framing, with cinematography. It's just, oh, I love movies from the 60s. Kind of does also add a level of like detachment. Like he's so detached from like this sort of reality. Like everyone's happy for him, but he's not there, you know? What is it exactly that he's doing? I don't understand. Like, what is he fishing for in a swimming pool? Is he diving?
Benjamin.
I was thinking about that time after the party, and I was wondering if I could buy you a drink or something. Now, I know it's pretty late, and if you'd rather...
Give me an hour. Hello, Benjamin.
What are you doing, Benjamin? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing right now? Clearly, he's not thinking.
Hello, Benjamin.
Hello, Mrs. Robinson.
Put the do not disturb. Oh my god, this is so painful. It's so painful to watch this. Oh, look, she's like, is this happening right now?
Benjamin, I'll get undressed now. Is that all right?
Sure. I mean, shall I just stand here? I mean, I don't know what you want me to do.
Why don't you watch?
Oh, sure. Thank you.
Why don't you watch? This is literally like a business transaction. There's nothing like romantic or like hot, if you will, about this. It's just like, ew.
Mrs. Robinson, I can't do this.
You what? Do you find me undesirable?
Oh, no, Mrs. Robinson. I think you're the most attractive of all my parents' friends.
Oh, there's that Dutch angle. I love that she wears animal print. I really like that. I think it does kind of reiterate her sort of, again, the sort of power dynamic that this weird relationship has where she's sort of like the predator and he's the prey, you know? Sort of that feeling to it.
Is this your first time?
Is this what?
It is, isn't it?
Are you kidding? Who said it was my
Afraid
first
of
time?
being
Wait a minute.
Inadequate? I mean, just because you happen to be inadequate in one way.
Inadequate? Don't move.
I can see what she's doing. She has him wrapped around her finger.
Hello, darkness, my old friend, that was planted in my brain.
That looks so tranquil, honestly. It makes me want to go and just have a swim. He's definitely more relaxed, if you catch my drift.
People writing songs. Fool said I do not know.
And now they're having a full-blown affair. Gee whiz.
Of silence, people bowed and prayed, and said the words of the prophets.
Always behind closed doors, always away from prying eyes.
Of silence.
Oh my god, the cinematography is great. And of course the swell of the music. I love it.
Ben, what are you doing?
I would say that I'm just drifting here in the pool.
Would you mind telling me what those 4 years of college were for?
You got me.
Now listen, Ben.
Oh, I'm so stupid. I thought he graduated from high school, but he's 21. So of course he graduated from college. I'm so not thinking.
I think it's a very good thing that a young man, after he's done some very good work, should have a chance to relax. After a few weeks, I believe that person would want to start to think about getting off his ass.
Hi, Ben. What are you doing with yourself these days?
Taking it easy.
He's like your wife. Oh no.
Darling, I'm going to ask you something. What you do when you go off at night?
Ooh, why did they decide to keep it on the razor?
I don't want to pry into your affairs, but I would rather you didn't say anything at all and be dishonest. Good night.
Mama knows best. She's like, I know where you've been going. I can sense it.
Do you think we could say a few words to each other first this time?
I don't think we have much to say to each other.
For months, all we've done is come up here and leap into bed together.
Are you tired of it?
You think we could liven it up with a little conversation for a change?
She's like, I just want to do this. I don't want to talk to you.
Do you want to tell me about some of your college experiences?
Think of another topic. Tell me what you did today.
I got up.
Oh.
I fixed breakfast for my husband.
There's something we could have a conversation about. Your husband.
Your husband?
What do you say to him when you leave the house at night?
Nothing. He's asleep.
Always?
Clearly they're in a loveless marriage. Whose idea was it to do this scene in the dark? I really like it. It kind of reminds me of The Sound of Music when Julie Andrews and Christopher Plummer, they did their romantic scene in the dark. And there was like a story behind that. I wonder if there was a story behind this or if this was just a stylistic choice. I really like it though.
I mean, I don't like to seem like I'm prying, but I guess you don't sleep together or anything.
No, we don't.
Well, how long has this been going on?
For God's sake, let's drop
Wait a
this.
minute.
Are you my therapist now? She's like, I don't want to talk. I'm not here to talk.
Oh, no, you had to marry him because you got pregnant. Well, I never thought of you and Mr. Robinson as a...
Now, let's get to bed.
Wait a minute.
This is such a turn-off conversation.
Don't talk about Elaine.
No.
Well, I guess I'll have to ask her out on a date and find out what the big deal is.
Benjamin, don't you ever...
She grabbed him by the hair. She's like, you touch my daughter, I'm gonna mess you up. Which is really weird because, you know, this sort of relationship we have is it's just a strange situation.
I'm not good enough for her to associate with, am I?
Let's drop it.
I'm good enough for you, but I'm not good enough to associate with your daughter. That's it, isn't it? Isn't it?
She never is quick to anger, which I really like in her character.
Yes.
You go to hell. You go straight to hell, Mrs. Robinson. Do you think I'm proud of myself? Do you think I'm proud of this? I'm not proud that I spend my time with a broken-down alcoholic.
Oh my, low blow.
Look, I like you. I wouldn't keep coming here if I didn't like you. I look forward to it. It's the one thing I have to look forward to. I would never say it if it wasn't true.
May I stay then?
Yes.
The tone of this conversation has changed like 4 times.
But you won't ever take Elaine out, will you? I want you to promise me that.
I promise I'll never take out Elaine Robinson.
Oh my God, how do you even first of all, you're having an affair with a younger man, which is fine, you know, but I mean, like, if you want to date a younger man, do it. But like, if you're married, it's weird. That's not the point. The point is, you're having this affair, and then suddenly you start talking about your daughter and how he's not allowed to take her out. Like, why would he be thinking, oh, you know what? I'm having sex with this woman. I'm also going to have sex with her daughter. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you bringing it up? Because now it's going to be in his mind, and now he's going to think about it. It's like the don't think about pink elephants psychology thing, and then all you can think about is pink elephants. Like, why would you even bring it up in the first place? Because now clearly it's going to happen. Like, ugh, and that is so gross. I can't even. Oh my God.
Oh, she's not good enough for you, is that it?
Look, Elaine Robinson and I do not get along.
Then I will simply have to invite all the Robinsons over on Thursday.
He's like, please don't do that. That's going to be a really weird family dinner situation. Ugh.
Hello? Come on in.
Benjamin, I thought I made myself perfectly clear about this. I'm extremely upset about it, Benjamin.
It was either that or a dinner party for the two families. I couldn't quite handle that if you don't mind.
I love how calm she is. She's not quick to anger. She's not yelling, but almost like her calmness is more terrifying than if she were like screaming and irate, and she's doing a fantastic job.
Why don't you watch the show? You're missing a great effect here.
I would say a first date to a smoky, risque bar, probably not a good idea. Like, nothing about this is like, let me get to know you type. It's just, he's being such a douche. like, excuse me, please get your nipple tassels away from, you know, my face. I would really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not going out with you again, buddy. Like, that was not okay.
I want to go home.
But can I just tell you this one thing? It was my parents' idea. They forced me into it. That's why I've been acting this way. I'm not like this.
Then why did you do it? You could have just taken her to a nice dinner and then just been like, you know, I'm not really interested in you, but like, you know, here's this nice dinner. Why take her to a freaking cabaret bar? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, what are they? But I don't think this is good. Just kissing randomly?
Kind of compulsion that I have to be rude all the time. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
It's like I've been playing some kind of game, but the rules don't make any sense to me.
That's the same woman from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I forgot her name. I'm sorry. I haven't done the research for this movie yet, so. She had a great night. She's starting to like him.
Would you like to come in?
Oh God, no.
It's still early. Maybe we could do something. Go somewhere else.
She's like, I'm down. Oh my God, this is gonna be such a freaking disaster.
Listen, Elaine, it seems to me that there isn't a bar here. I mean, as far as I know.
Of course there is. Look, there's the palm room right there.
Good evening. How are you, sir? Good evening, Mr. Gladstone. Hello again.
Oh, did he take her to the same hotel that he's been screwing her mother at? That's crazy.
Do they know you?
Of course not.
Benjamin, what's happening?
I don't know. They must think I look like this guy Gladstone.
Hello, Mr. Brandon.
It's the woman from the party.
Elaine, I like you. I like you so much. You're the first thing for so long that I've liked. My whole life is such a waste.
After one day? I mean, I guess.
Benjamin, are you having an affair with someone?
It's just this thing that happened along with everything else. Can you understand that?
Was she married or something?
Yes.
Yes, she's closer to you than you know. And she has a daughter, whose name is Elaine.
And it's all over now?
Yes.
Drive down the block.
Mrs. Robinson, Elaine and I have a date. We're going for a drive.
Do exactly as I say.
Yo, I would not want to be mixed up in this web of crap.
Listen to me very carefully, Benjamin. You are not to see Elaine again, ever. Is that clear? I can make things quite unpleasant.
How?
I am prepared to tell her everything.
God forbid he gets married to Elaine and then they like build their relationship on love and trust and respect. Come to find out he's harboring this 30-year secret that he had an affair with her mother. Like, that's just so beyond like my scope. I'd be like, I can't. Like, I'm done.
You got to go over the back fence and I'll meet you on the corner.
Benjamin!
It's like the big bad wolf coming to get him.
I have to tell you something. That woman, that older woman that I told you about.
Benjamin, will you just tell me what this is all about?
It was your mother. Just say it. Just say it. Just rip the Band-Aid off right now so we can just get it all out in the open. Oh yeah.
Elaine,
Oh my God. Get out of here.
don't cry.
Goodbye, Benjamin.
Oh, and she's getting all like long and far away. On the bright side, everything is like out in the open, you know? It's not this big secret. That's good, I guess.
I'm going to marry Elaine Robinson.
He and Elaine are getting married.
I don't believe it.
Wow, the scream was a little bit excessive. It's crazy because like he went on one date with her and then fell in love.
I'm going up to Berkeley today.
Well, when did you decide all this?
About an hour ago.
You talked to Elaine this morning?
No, she doesn't know about it.
We haven't. I've made a decision in my mind. Yeah, I honestly didn't know that the album, or there was a series of songs from Simon and Garfunkel that made up this score. I thought it was just Mrs. Robinson, and really I didn't even know The Sound of Silence was in this either. So it's kind of cool that there's like a series of songs that are in this from Simon and Garfunkel.
Well, how about this for a coincidence?
I'm meeting someone at the zoo.
The zoo. They have a pretty good one here, do they?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
She's like, please stop talking to me, buddy, please.
Benjamin, I would like to know what you're doing here.
I've been getting to some classes.
But you're not enrolled.
No, I just sit in. They don't seem to mind. They've been very congenial about it.
They don't even know. They don't even realize.
Elaine! Am I late? I'm sorry.
This is Benjamin Braddock.
Glad to meet you, Ben.
Great meeting you, Carl.
It's a weird like shot of the monkey or the ape. It was strange.
I want to ask you a question and then I'm going. I want to know why you're here in Berkeley. Is it because I'm here?
I mean, obviously.
Yes.
I want you to leave.
I love you.
Do you just hate everything? How could you possibly I'm Mother.
What?
What?
You gotta tell me what she said.
Why?
Because it isn't true.
Whoa, yeah, set that record straight really quick.
She was having a drink at the hotel with a friend, and she was too drunk to drive home, and then you took her upstairs and you her.
No, that is not what happened. We all saw, right? That didn't happen.
I drove your mother home.
I don't
When we
want to
went
hear
upstairs,
this.
she started
This
taking
is my
her
mother,
clothes off.
Benjamin.
She's the one that's like the irate one that gets all like, mad.
Oh, hello, Mr. McClure.
Who screamed? Screaming is not all right. Not in my house, it isn't.
I'll get the cops.
Hey, wait a minute.
Don't get the cops, guys. Go back to your room.
No, there's no need for the cops or anything.
All right, out of here.
What for?
Because I don't like you.
Oh my god, this just escalated so quickly. It's like, geez, it was one offense. Just chill.
I'm sorry I screamed.
Elaine, right now I don't feel like talking much. I think I'll just do this now.
I love how like temperamental the tones of the conversations are. It's like it takes a sharp turn like every so often.
What are you going to do now? Are you going home?
No.
Well, where are you going?
Elaine, you're gonna have to stop asking me that.
Strangest conversation I've ever been a part of. Weren't you just accusing him of your mom? And why hasn't that record been set straight? Because that's definitely not what happened.
I don't want you to go anywhere until you have a definite plan.
What's happening?
Benjamin, will you kiss me?
The tonal shifts of this film are just too like freaking have whiplash from all this. Jeez.
Will you marry me?
I don't know. I might. I don't see how we can.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys could start a relationship on like what happened. I don't even know how that would even begin to blossom or take flight.
We could go down and get our blood test tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Benjamin, I haven't even said I'll marry you yet. I just don't think it would work.
Why wouldn't it? Right after we get the blood tests.
I have to see Carl first. Well, I said I might marry him.
God, she has two men pining for her hand?
He said he thought we'd make a pretty good team.
It wasn't in his car, was it?
Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. That is so embarrassing. He's being so embarrassing. And what was the blood test thing? That's interesting. Why do they need to get blood tests? He's getting a ring. Oh my god, this is so weird.
And you want to try and tell me why you did it?
Oh, is that Mr. Robinson? Oh geez.
Do you have a special grudge against me?
I have no personal feelings about you, Mr. Robinson. What happened between Mrs. Robinson and me, we might just as well have been shaking hands.
Shaking hands. That's one way to put it.
I don't love your wife, I love your daughters, sir.
Oh my god, it's so weird.
I think I can get you behind bars if you ever look at my daughter again.
So he doesn't have daddy's blessing.
I don't shake hands with you. I think you are scum. You are a degenerate.
I do like the fact that they had that scene because originally I thought that the husband was kind of in the know about like what's been going on with Ben and Mrs. Robinson in a sense, but having that scene really made it seem like he didn't realize at all. I didn't see it coming. I thought he like was aware and maybe he was also having affairs. I don't know.
Jane Robinson has left school.
Dear Benjamin, I love you, but it would never work out.
She keeps like vacillating between like I love you and I want to marry you and I love you, it's never gonna work out. It's very like, again, whiplash. Bro, everything is telling you not to run after this chick.
Take care of him. He's too late.
She's like vile. I don't understand why. Is she jealous? Like I don't understand her motives.
You crazy punk.
Oh my god, Mr. Robinson. Mr. Robinson, what? Oh my god. What is going on?
It's too late! Not for me!
It's like a mass exorcism. My god, the pacing of this scene is so fast. Everything happens so quickly. They're like, what happened here? We need the story.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Oh, what are they thinking? What are they experiencing right now? Oh my god. Maybe reality setting in, like, the situation? I don't know.
In restless dreams I walk alone. Cobblestone.
Oh, that's it. Oh, wow. Wow, that was wild. That was a really good movie. I really enjoyed that film a lot. I really loved, I don't even know, it was such like, it really was like a whirlwind of a movie. There were so many tonal shifts, even just throughout the conversations. It was like sharp turns here and there. Like it's just this sort of push and pull. And really like at the end there, like what were they experiencing in that bus? Like was reality setting in, like the reality of their situation? Like they got away, they ended up together. Now what? Like how do we go forward from this, from what we've experienced? Like all of that stuff still exists, you know? That's really amazing. I don't know. It's wild. The thing I loved the most, obviously, was the cinematography of this film. Clearly, you could see that the director was really being experimental with the cinematography, using different angles to capture this story, longer shots, wide shots, close-up shots, zoom in, zoom outs. That is so reminiscent of the 60s. It was an evolution of everything. You know, it was so much more creative. They were able to do more on screen, and you could really see the influences of that evolution within that decade. I thought Dustin Hoffman really did a good job of being like sort of the aimless high school grad or college graduate, not really knowing what to do with his life next. And maybe that also is the meaning of the ending too. Like I still don't know what to do with my life. I don't know. But he really played that well. And then once he realized that he was in love with Elaine and that he really wanted to fight for her and fight for something, you really saw that he had a dedication to that. So it almost gives you hope that like even if, you know, this doesn't work out, he still has the determination to fight for something that he really wants. So in the long run, like he's gonna be okay. Like I guess you could kind of see it like that. I didn't like freaking Mrs. Robinson. I feel like, I mean, I appreciated that she had a sort of strength to her. She knew what she wanted, but she didn't have to be so vile and nasty at the end there. It didn't really make sense. It was like, are you jealous of Elaine? Are you jealous of, you know, Ben's love for Elaine? Like, what is your motive? Why are you acting this way? I would have loved to know more about that. But I guess you had to have an agitator, I suppose, in the story. And then I also liked that they did give Mr. Robinson that sort of scene where he confronted his wife's like affairist. I don't know, what word would that be? Like person she had an affair with. He confronted Ben and you really saw he was hurt about the situation. He wasn't kind of lackadaisical about it. Like, oh, you know, this, I already knew this was going to happen. Like he actually was hurt by it. And then I also liked that they did reveal that Ben and Mrs. Robinson were having an affair. I thought that was just going to be kept under wraps and then like it was going to explode at the end, but it kind of exploded in the middle. And you kind of saw the repercussions of that. And I think it actually does make the ending more powerful because like I said, it's like, how do we move on from, you know, you had an affair with my mom. Like, how can I be with you after that? So I think it is more powerful that she knew about that to kind of have a big impact at the end there. But yeah, that was a fantastic movie, guys. Thank you so much to those of you who have recommended it in the comments. And thank you guys so much for watching it with me. All right, everyone, that does it for this video. As always, if you liked it as much as I did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you would like to become an official MWMer, then please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification to stay in the loop. If you would like to see this film's full reaction, you will find it on my Patreon. Patreon is also where I host my bi-weekly MWM live watch parties, where every other Saturday night at 5 p.m. Arizona time, which is currently synced to Mountain Standard Time, we come together and we watch one classic film live via Zoom. I do also have a few polls up on the channel right now for our March series. We are going to be watching films from the very talented Mr. Marlon Brando. So if you do want to get in on those video polls, then please check out that Patreon link, which is in the description box below. In the next video, we are going to be watching the film Don't Bother to Knock. I am very excited to watch this film. It's another Marilyn Monroe film in a role that's kind of different than her Marilyn persona. If you have not seen Don't Bother to Knock, then please watch it either in its entirety or read a quick synopsis of it. I also have provided a link of where I bought my physical copy down in the description box below. If you have a recommendation for any classic Hollywood film, please feel free to reach out to me on social media, on Facebook and X or Twitter @movieswithmia, and on Instagram and TikTok @movieswithmia_. And while you're on social media, why not check out my LetterBoxd account, where I put all of the films we've reacted to on the channel. So if you want to know what we've reacted to, check that out. It is under the handle @MammaMiaTiffany. And yeah, that is all I have for you guys. If you've made it to the end of this film, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. This has been such a pleasure. Please stay safe and healthy out there, guys, and I'll see you, boo, in the next video. Bye, everyone. Can you guys tell that I'm sweating? Why am I wearing a sweater? The Graduate was released in 1967, directed by Mike Nichols. Mikey. I'm wearing a sweater and I'm sweating. All right, guys, at this point, we are going to get right into our historical background. Why am I'm messing up too much? I haven't done this in a while. Okay. The Graduate was originally a novel based on a novel. No. After a fantasy he had of one of his barents. Eventually, a producer would read the novel and saw the potential for it becoming a film. And so that is how it got adapted into a film. How do you know? What do you know? What do you know? I can't say it. And while you're on social media, why not considering check out... No. Yes.